This is the
Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Listen up, you blind slapnut.
If I can be serious for a minute.
This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody.
The real reason I came here tonight is because we are live!
We are NXT.
It's your time, folks!
Sweet! A little bit of the bubbly.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
For life.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all the ages, it is that time of the week again. It is time for your wrestling weekend review show here on the Flex Network. And boy, oh boy, what a week do we have for you today. Man, a lot of things been going on in the world of wrestling. A lot of things been going on in the world, just in everything in general. But man, just to say the fact that baseball playoffs are now kicking on. The NHL playoffs just got done. And to say the least, what else? Oh yeah, NBA playoffs heading into the finals right now. Literally just a lot of things going on in the world of sports. But guess what? We ain't here to talk about, hockey. We're not here to talk about baseball. We're not here to talk about basketball. We're not here to talk about all those things because we're here to talk about that wrestling. And I know right now the NFL network, NFL's going on right now. Hold on one sec. I guess something's not. Something's not working with the Facebook part. Hold on. Let's see. Let's just hold on. Let's just remove. Let's just fix this right in here right now. Okay, hopefully that fixes it for everyone that's going to be on the Facebook part of the world. We can see if hopefully that worked. Because something was not amiss here, but a little technical difficulty to get. Oh, there we go. We got working now. For everyone on the Facebook, we're live. We're here. We're in the now. It is that time of the week again. It is the Wrestling Week Review Show here on the Flex Network. And boy, oh boy, we got some stuff to talk about. It is TakeOver 31 weekend. And boy, I mean, we just got done last week with Clash of Champions. Clash of Champions was freaking unbelievable, to say the least. I literally was happy with Clash of Champions. Literally, it was so good. I mean, to say the least, I loved it. It was a great show this past week. it caught me. The emotion that caught me with watching Roman Reigns take and the beatdown of his cousin, just everything in general. It was so awesome, to say the least. It was real good, guys. It caught me. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Clash of Champions. We're going to talk about what's coming up this weekend on NXT with TakeOver 31. Give a brief update with what's going on in the G1 tournament. And go over what's been going on the TV. But you know how we do this every week. We come on. Because we are live. Yes, we are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitter, and we are live on Twitter. But let's get into this. Let's talk about what's been going on in the world of wrestling with some news report. A lot of things been going on. Fortunately for Tegan Knox, sad news. She has suffered her third ACL tear. She has had surgery and is in recovery right now. So I guess last week's attack was just a way to get Tegan off TV, as she is now sidelined with her third ACL injury, which sucks. Literally, this girl has had horrible luck. Missed out on the first missed out on the first Mae Young Classic. Missed out, got injured again during the tournament, the second tournament, and then healed up. Everything was going on, on a positive note for her. She was getting into these great matches, looking like she was going to get into the title picture. Had a hell of a match at TakeOver Portland, TakeOver in your house, just on the upward. And now she's injured again. Third time ACL. And now she's, surgery and recuperating. Just really sucks. Want to wish Tegan Knox a speedy recovery on her injury. Get well soon. Sucks. Other news. Rob Van Dam and girlfriend is currently no longer with Impact Wrestling. Contract up. Haven't re-signed. And that is a shame, because they were actually doing pretty well over there in Impact. Van Dam with, his girlfriend, Katie Forbes, and they were providing some good content. I'll get, it's good, maybe a couple incidents of controversial, on Twitch, if you remember that. But yeah, they were doing very well, I believe, at Impact. They were killing it. And unfortunately, they're no longer with Impact right now. They may come back, maybe not. We have no idea right now. Angel Garza, if you guys saw at Clash of Champions, got injured during the show, which had to lead to that fast count, questionable count with the ref, during the match near the end. And it cost, probably potential ending for the match. What we're hearing is that the injury, Angel thought, was looking like it was a torn quad. Doctors are probably, in the back thinking maybe it was a hip injury, but it's up in the air. I'm thinking it's a torn quad, just the way, how the move was set up and how he, he extended that back leg from the knee attack when he did it. Again, don't know. More info will be coming out in the coming days. So hopefully it's not a serious injury that will sideline another tag team on Raw, that because literally their tag team division is just slipping. literally is just slipping to the wayside right now, and it's no fault of the Street Profits. It's no fault of the wrestlers itself. It's just there's not a whole lot of growth. I mean, granted, COVID and everybody, having to reduce, talent and everything, had to release a lot of people, but it sucks. Sec. All right. Back to my little notes here. And now out of that, god awful, injury again, back to back injuries right there. Joey Ryan, if you guys remember him, the master of the dong right there. He was an Impact with, cancel culture. He was released over the summer due to the hashtag Speak Out movement with the sexual assault and stuff that was put out there online. And again, I'm not going to be giving my opinions on, there's, you can go out and form your own opinion about his situation and what has been said, put out there on the internet. It's totally up to you. Make your own decision with that. But apparently, Mr. Ryan has decided to file 14 lawsuits against his accusers from over the summer. He is seeking compensation in excess of 25 big ones, 25 mil, baby, for economic damages. 25,000 for non-economic damages for an order retracting and correcting the defamatory statements for equitable relief based on principles that are fair and just. That was the quote. So again, not gonna pass judgment on what has been said out there, because again, it was posted on Twitter and was put out on the internet. And remember, anything can be said on the internet, and it may be true, it may not be true, but until someone is sitting in the courtroom and there is charges filed, innocent until proven guilty is the mantra for me. Because again, till he's been charged, arrested, handcuffed, anything can be said. So that is just my little opinion. I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying he did do these things. You have your own opinions out there. They're your opinions. Not going to get into it on here, as this is just me reporting what I've been reading. Okay, what I've heard, what I've seen. So again, don't shoot the messenger about what's happening with Mr. Joey Ryan. Just reporting it. That's it. So don't shoot the messenger. Got a problem with my thought of, oh well, he's not innocent. He did all these things. He did, he was put out there. He's had accusations. All of this. It's like he was fired. He lost a job because of this. Obviously, he must be guilty. Again, I'm not saying he did do it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. He could have done every single thing that has been posted on Twitter by these accusers, by these women. He could have done every single thing. And they're now just putting it out there and everything. That's great. That they're finally found that they got their courage up to say that enough's enough. We need to speak, do something about that. That's great. But for me, I have always believed, and will still to this day, innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Until he's sitting in a jail cell, serving the punishment and the crime that he did, I'm not going to, sing his praises that, oh yeah, he's innocent. He's innocent. I'm not going to say, he's all that. Okay? I'm just saying he may have done it, he may have not done it. That's someone for else to decide. I'm just the one who just says, oh, well, I guess he's been accused and now he's countersuing them. All right. That's his business. I don't care that much about what he does or doesn't do. All right. Now that I went on my little tirade for that one. Moving on to better news. Mr. Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, is no longer under contract with AEW right now, as he was currently working on a limited appearance deal. His agreement was fulfilled after the All Out pay-per-view, and now he is once again a free agent. So he has been thinking, hey, I like working for AEW. Might want to sign another, month contract, work on a short-term basis right now, granted with everything going on. Can't really go to Japan, because he would like to go to Japan. That's what, I'm hearing. He would like to go to Japan. He would like to go to do all these different things. But of course, with travel restrictions, options are limited. And maybe we get to see a reuniting in Impact Wrestling with his buddy, Brian Myers. That would be cool. But that's for him. And we don't know what he's doing right now. So he's currently not under contract with AEW. And hopefully he gets to find, maybe we get to see him again in AEW, another short-term deal. We get to see him for a time being, or goes to Impact, or goes to somewhere else, or goes back to WWE. We don't know. New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced that their president and CEO, Harold Menji, will be stepping down from his position over the next month. He has been in that role since May of 2018. The current CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America, Takemi Ohobari, will be taking over his spot. Interesting, especially in this pandemic, but obviously if he feels like it's his time, he's given everything he could to the company and feels like someone else can step up and do it. That's great on him. And then last little bit, new updates on AEW doing a video game is currently in development, and Kenny Omega is closely working with the creative team. According to Mr. Omega, the game's development team provides AEW with exciting updates every few weeks. He believes that they are on the right track, and he has highlighted how good this team is backing them up. So it is going to be great, hopefully great. The game is not scheduled to be released anytime soon, so it's not going to be going up against WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Probably will come out next year, probably around the holidays, maybe. We don't know. So, but it's currently being worked out right now. But that is the news for this week. That's the news report. Man, a lot of good things coming out this week. Before we get too far into what's been going on TV, let's do a little recap of what happened at the Clash of Champions this past week. And boy, oh boy, was it good. Was it really, really good? So, for those of you that did not watch the Clash of Champions and did not watch the rest, this week's, TV and everything. Oh, yeah. And, getting a little pop in from Jason. It's like, yeah, that's amazing. That I'm glad that Kenny is helping with the game. It's like, yeah, if you're going to have someone on, someone you're going to be making a game out of, you might want to have have their, input on what the game needs to feel like. And, Kenny Omega is a gamer. Legit. He is a video game connoisseur. He has battled Xavier Woods multiple times. He's done he's done Street Fighter. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. There's YouTube videos out there that they play like in arcade games. They played in at CEO, I believe it was, or yeah, CEO. They did, he is a gamer, legitimately. He is a video gamer, and it's, I mean, hell, he was able to get Bullet Club into Tekken 7, or I don't know if it was him exactly, but we got Bullet Club stuff in Tekken 7 on PlayStation on the PS4. So, guys, I don't know what else to tell you. He likes video games a lot, but yeah, I can't wait for the AEW game. It is going to be freaking sweet, to say the least. But now, for those of you who have not watched Clash of Champions, who have not watched Raw, not watched NXT, AEW, well, this is your warning. This is your how do I want to put this? Your spoiler alert. So if you haven't been watching, when you hear the woo, that means we gonna spoil some stuff for you, because we're gonna do a recap. We're gonna go back to Clash of Champions this past weekend, and boy, was it damn good. Pre-show, we had the tag team titles on the line for the SmackDown side of the world. We had Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Kalisto and Dorego in the Lucha House Party. It was a good match. Back and forth. We had some great, highs, lows with that match. Cesaro catching Kalisto, trying to prevent the spinning DDT, gets caught. Dorado just comes flying in, turns into a spinning DDT. It was freaking awesome. Loved it. Unfortunately for Lucha House Party, they do not get the tag team titles that night. Cesaro and Shinsuke recapture the tag team titles as they reclaim their spot at the top. Or actually, no, they kept their spot at the top. Sorry. I got to think that Lucha House Party was tag team champions for a minute. Triple threat Intercontinental ladder match to kick off the main show. Sami Zayn, the original recognized Intercontinental champion, AJ Styles, and the current recognized Intercontinental champion, Jeff Hardy. We had this one had a crash test dummy feel effect. I mean, seeing Jeff Hardy just, climb the ladder, Sami Zayn tilting it over, forwards, and just, seeing Jeff just trying to climb, spider climb, over the front of it, gets knocked over. He falls out of the ring. It's like just a lot of calamity. Jeff Hardy doing the swanton off the top of a ladder through Sami Zayn in that ladder. It was freaking insane. Literally, this was just a crash test dummy match. Up and down, just a lot of damage. I don't know how these guys are still functioning after that match. Sami Zayn, finding innovative ways. I will give that credit. You had a dual Intercontinental Championship. Who's the real Intercontinental Champion situation? Sami Zayn popping out with some handcuffs at the end of the match, handcuffing Jeff Hardy to a ladder through his ear, earring, area where his ear is just basically a big old hole. Free access to a handcuff moment right there. And yeah, Jason, it was freaking brutal. Like seriously, just a crash test dummy-esque match. Just crazy. So Sammy handcuffs, Jeff's ear to a mini ladder, makes him have to carry it, essentially, if he wants to get back into this. And then handcuffs AJ to the main ladder where he's climbing for the Intercontinental Championships. It was a smart smart way to finish off that match. I figure, we've done both, everyone's out of the ring. It's Sami Zayn's all alone. He's going to get the title, knock them off, that kind of stuff. But I have not seen a handcuff Jeff Hardy and a handcuff AJ Styles to a ladder, both to ladders. This was interesting, to say the least. I mean, granted, AJ Styles was able to get the handcuffs on to Sami Zayn himself, so he was handcuffed, and they had to drag each other up the ladder, essentially. But Sami's smart of all to have the key with him, unhooks himself, handcuffs AJ Styles to the ladder, and then just proceeds to climb and just gloat in jubilation that he is now the sole undisputed Intercontinental Champion. It was a great match. So I hope you guys literally go and rewatch this match. This was surprisingly great, for a triple threat ladder match. It was great. Raw Women's title match on the line. Raw Women's Championship up for grabs. Asuka defending against Zelina Vega in her first championship opportunity. And while the match was a short match to a point, Zelina pulled out all the stops. I thought she was going to have a good chance at it. But, of course, she was not ready for Asuka. Asuka makes Zelina tap out. Asuka is still your Raw Women's Champion. U.S. title is on the line. Bobby Lashley defending against Apollo Crews in a, payback? Yeah, payback rematch for the U.S. title. Now, it was a good match. It was a good match. Very entertained with it. Bobby Lashley proving why he is a good U.S. champion right now. Making Apollo Crews tap out into the Hurt Lock. Literally, it was a good match. I'll just leave it at that. It was a good match. If you think about it, go and watch it. And you have different opinion. All right. Tag team titles. I mean, we already talked about that short little bit. Street Profits defending against Andrade and Angel Garza in what seems to be a 5-month program with these guys. I mean, I've said this before on previous shows with the tag team division. It is severely slim. I feel like that the Raw tag team division is just focused on the Street Profits. It's focused on Andrade and Angel Garza. Maybe Viking Raiders get pulled into it a little bit. Maybe Seth and Buddy Murphy get pulled into it a little bit. But now with the Viking Raiders now shelved right now with one member injured, as neck injury. Basically he's got surgery. He's recuperating right now. Now you have another injury with the main person with one of the main people in your rivalry. So now what you got left? You got essentially a depleted tag team division on Raw. You've got Street Profits at the top, and who else do you have? I mean, you can put Seth and Murphy back together and have them challenge for the tag team titles, but that would deteriorate from the Mysterio family drama that they've put themselves around now. And then who else do you have for tag teams on Raw that you could just give them a chance to put up against right now? Answer is not a whole lot. You can probably make some tag teams with some wrestlers who are not doing anything right now. But again, not a whole lot of options at the point right now. What do you think about Retribution sending out a tag team? That would be interesting to say the least. I mean, there is, you got T-Bone, you got, oh shoot, who else? Oh, let me look. I have to look that up. I know it's T-Bone or T-Bar. It is like these just weird names. Is just so funny to think of. Like that's your name, guys. T-Bar, Slapjack, and I'm like figuring out just seeing who has the last names. I mean, but to say the least, it's a 3-man group and 2 women right now. But the way that they're putting Retribution right now, they're more focused on the Hurt Business. I mean, yeah, the Hurt Business could also go for tag team gold. They got Shelton, they got MVP, they got not Apollo Crews, Bobby Lashley. They can put a tag team right there together. There's another tag team right there. But Retribution as a tag team and putting them in the tag team picture. I could see that if they're going to try to take over WWE. But the fact that they're putting more emphasis on the street or the Hurt Business taking on Retribution, in that sense, they're putting them over here to deal with. And I mean, it could work to where they can do a program with the tag team titles. They could probably do Street Profits and Retribution, Hurt Business, that in that sort of way. I could see that. But there's not there. I probably would also see the other side of the coin where a lot of people would be pissed off because your first match in, it already deteriorated your image. The fact that you look like reject Batman Batman Beginnings, or sorry, the Dark Knight characters right there with Bane from the Christian Bale movie, and just looking like a bunch of rejects from that movie. You lose on your first night as as your first act on the main roster by DQ. And then it just leads to all out chaos with almost everyone on the Raw roster coming out to attack these Retribution. So it's already deteriorated their image a little bit. I mean, a bunch. But again, I can also see that they would be a good fit in the tag team division, depending on how well they're going to try to go for the tag team titles. If they're going to legitimately go and try to take over WWE. So you got to start somewhere. Tag team division's wide open. So yeah, I could see Retribution going into the tag team and going for the tag titles. As an alternative means, depending on how long Garza is injured for and out of action, and putting Andrade as a single person for the time being. But moving back on to what happened at Clash, of course, Angel getting injured, on Andrade getting a shoulder up in the quick count to a point. I think that was going to be sent from the back. Hey, we got to get this match over quick. To a point. As soon as possible because Angel's injured. So that's why we have that shot. That late or early arm raise, and the ref didn't see it. So Street Profits retain at their tag team titles at the Clash. We had an impromptu women's SmackDown Women's Championship match because Bayley was supposed to defend the title against Nikki Cross, but for unknown reasons, Nikki Cross was not at Clash. We had the women's tag team title match scrapped because I'm like blanking. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were not medically cleared. All three were not medically cleared, so the tag team titles situation for the women pushed out of the way for the time being until they are medically cleared. That left Bayley an open challenger, or to a point, for the SmackDown Women's title. decide to gloat. Asuka comes out looking to get her title back, or to become a double champion for both shows. Good match all the way, to a point, for how short it was. Could have been a little bit better, a little bit longer, but of course it was just a short match. Bailey gets herself disqualified. Asuka wins, but she does not gain the title. And we get Sasha Banks coming out and attacking her former best friend. And just going to town on Bailey with that steel chair. And I literally cannot wait to see what transcribes between these two. If we get the Hell in a Cell, swing of things this coming month with Bailey and Banks, I want to see that. Or if they're going to try to drag this out just a little bit longer to where we get to Survivor Series. Hopefully it's the first one where we get to see them in Hell in a Cell. That would be good. But moving along, ambulance match for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre taking on the Viper Randy Orton. And this match I loved. This was my favorite match, one of my favorite matches of the night. Just on the surface of it, we were going to get a no holds barred, anything goes kind of style match. The only way to win was to stuff your opponent in the back of the ambulance and close the door. And bar none, this was I loved it. We had everyone that Randy Orton has attacked over the summer, literally come back to bite him in the ass and just literally screw Randy Orton over. You had Big Show come out preventing Orton for going for the kick early in the match, choke slamming him through a table. Later, a little bit later on, you had Christian attack Orton in the back near catering, just beat him down, and then leaves. Then right near the end of the match, we got to see on top of an ambulance, we got to, after we saw this Lion King-esque moment with Orton just, stomping out Drew's feet hands on the ambulance. He just, takes a little tumble. But we get to see on top of the ambulance a little poof, sweet chin music from HB Shizzle himself, HBK. And and just to see him push him off, it was just too. Oh, I love that moment. That was awesome. Just to see that sweet chin music, and then just a little push off the ambulance, and of course the DX chop for good measure. Drew controls the situation, hits Randy with the Claymore, about to stuff him in the hearse, or in the I want to say hearse because I've seen so many damn versions of this. The last ride match, I've seen just a whole bunch of stuff. Stuff him into the ambulance, decide not to close the door all the way, brings him back out, punts him in the head, tosses him in, closes, still WWE champion. And now and I know someone's out there, wait a minute. Well, over the summer, he attacked 4. He attacked Big Show, send him out. Christian, send him out. He attacked Shawn Michaels, send him, reeling for a little bit. But where's Flair? Where is that styling and profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun? Where is that Flair? Where is he? Oh, don't worry. We saw him because after the match, we saw the refs like, hey, let's go. We got to get him out of here. And then you just see the front door, where the front door was supposed to be, and a shattered glass of a windshield. You see Ric Flair saying, I promise to drive under this, not to get stopped by the cops. I promise to keep it under the speed limit. Woo! It just drives off with Randy Orton in tow. I loved it. It was a great way to end somewhat of these, last little plugs from over the summer with Orton and Flair, Big Show, Christian, Shawn. It was a great way to end that part of the storyline, if you say, because granted, we're going to be seeing more of this for this rivalry is going to get stretched for a while. So, moving along. So yeah, Randy Orton is not WWE champion. We'll talk about that on Raw in a quick little bit. And then main event, Roman Reigns taking on his cousin, Jey Uso, for the Universal title. Now, there's some matches, like, okay, this is going to be a good, match. I mean, granted, Roman's supposed to be, he's supposed to be a bad guy and everything. We're going to get a good match. But you know what? Watching that match fully from start to finish, I got hooked. I got hooked big time into this match. By the time we're getting close to the end, and the fact that these two are legitimate family and cousins, and seeing Roman just beat down his own cousin, his own blood, and to have injured cuz Jimmy come on hobbling down. Hopefully he's not injured from, trying to, just hobble down and set back his recovery time. Toss in the towel, and you just, it's like, I gotta toss in. You don't have to prove nothing. Blah, blah, blah. And after a little bit more beat down, just toss it in. It's like, I got hooked into this. It's like, I'm hooked into this story. I want to watch SmackDown more just to see how Roman, Jimmy, Jey, and how they're now bringing in the family part. I want to see where this is going to go. And a lot of people thinking that this is going to get pulled to WrestleMania season. So again, I cannot wait to see what happens on SmackDown. Now, it's going to make me want to tune into SmackDown more, and I hope everyone that's watching this and seeing this, tells people, look, you got to go check out SmackDown. Go watch SmackDown. I mean, yeah, they may have short match, they don't have as much time on, Fox Network, but still go and watch SmackDown just to watch Roman Reigns, Jey, and his family. That's the hook right there. And you get all these different parts in here to add to it. So this, I think, is going to turn SmackDown around, this whole rivalry. And Jason, yeah, I'm with you. This was one of the best matches of the night. And I cannot wait to see where they go with this. It is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for SmackDown tomorrow night. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up tomorrow night on SmackDown after we get into what happened on that Monday Night Raw. So let's switch up. I don't need you the background right now. Let's just go boom. And we're at Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about what happened this past Monday night on Raw quickly, because we still got to get to TakeOver 31. We got to get ready for TakeOver this weekend. It's going to be awesome. Raw. We had a rematch for the Raw Women's title. Asuka defeating Zelina Vega in another attempt for Zelina. Two straight matches back to back for the Raw Women's title on the line for Zelina. And fortunately, she did not capture the title. I'm interested to see who Asuka is going to be facing. I mean, she's literally almost beat everyone on the Raw roster. That's there. I just cannot. I want to see who is going to be her next challenger. I mean, Mickie James would be. I want to see Mickie James get a legitimate shot without this. The referee stoppage in the back saying, "Hey, she looks injured. We got to call it right now." And then I want to see a legitimate, straight up match with her. See who's better. See if we're gonna get a good match out of that. Keith Lee defeated Andrade in one-on-one action. Not bad for Keith Lee. He had a good match on Raw this past week. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Yes, I said Dana Brooke is now on Raw, defeating the tag team of Natalya and Lana. Now, I know a lot of people are, of course, thinking like, okay, Lana getting punished for the last 2 weeks straight, put through tables thanks to Nia is essentially a punishment for her husband over in AEW now, and the fact that these two are just losing a lot. Who else could they face off? They're not going to be in title contention for the tag team titles. And Lana's not really a wrestler, as she's been more manager, and the fact that every time she tries to wrestle, it ends in it doesn't look good. It's not helping to her. I mean, she could be trying her hardest, but it just doesn't look helpful to anything. And the fact that she's tagging with Natalya right now, and their TikTok, setting the world on fire with their TikToks, and they're best friends, and they're dressing alike, and almost to a point like that. But to see Mandy Rose, who just got out of a tag team with her now gone friend, who's now dealing with personal issues, outside the ring issues, Sonya Deville, and now she's on Monday Night Raw thanks to The Miz and everything going on with trying to get the Money in the Bank contract away from Oz. What can we see from Mandy Rose? And you know what? To see her and Dana Brooke tag teaming, I like this. I mean, I like the fact that while Mandy paid tribute to Trish Stratus in her outfit this past week, it was good. The action with these two, I like it. I could see these two as future tag team champions as a tag team on the Raw side of the women's roster, depending on how the draft comes up. What happens after the draft, coming up in a week or so, next 2 weeks, next 2 weeks at least. But even if Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke don't stay together as a tag team, they get re-split up again. Mandy gets put back on SmackDown, Dana gets put back on SmackDown, or either or they stay together. If it doesn't work out that these two aren't going to be a tag team, I could see Mandy challenging for, maybe getting that singles run, and sometime in the future, maybe see her as, challenge for the Raw Women's title. But again, you got to see, I like them as a tag team. Hope to see more out of it. And I have a strong connection that this is going to be a good tag team to see down the line. Not that I'm not already, back putting my horse, putting my money on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax to continue as the women's tag team champions. I hope that they stay as a tag team. I mean, hopefully they figure out, what? It's better to work with her than against her. And the fact that we're somehow working as a tag team and we're dominating and we're holding on to these tag team titles, you know what? I think we can work this. I think we can somehow be turned into the Bar-esque version of the women's tag team champions and, be friends. We don't hate each other. We're actually working as a tag team. So, yeah, my money is on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler staying tag team champions for a while other women in the Raw and the SmackDown, and hopefully they come back to NXT and that tag team division just grows. But that is my spiel with, Manny Rose and Dan Brooke as a tag team. KO taking on Aleister Black. Unfortunately for KO, he got clocked pretty bad. As Aleister wins via lost via disqualification to Kevin Owens. Didn't really want to continue on with beating up on Kevin Owens, so he just had to get himself disqualified. Triple threat match for the 24/7 championship. R-Truth gains back the title over Drew Gulak and Akira Tozawa. And R-Truth now is what? A 30-some odd 24/7 champion. I mean, literally, I literally want, I'm looking up right now, like, how many times has he won this title? And he has won this, R-Truth has won this title a whopping 41 times. He is the 41-time champion. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm still entertained with this 24/7 title. It's one of the favorite things I see on Monday Night Raw now. Hopefully on pay-per-view to where we can get it switched over to SmackDown, maybe help them a little bit. But with Raw being what it is and the fact that it's right now backstage being so unpredictably crazy, I think it needs to stay on Raw. Just saying. Last little bit for Raw, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Apollo Crews defeat the Hurt Business in 6-man tag action. And then, of course, main event open challenge for Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And who accepts the match? A glorious Bobby Roode, returning to action in a long time. And he had a great match with Drew McIntyre. Obviously, we're going to be seeing Drew as champion for a little bit while longer. And you know what, Robert? Pulled out one hell of a good match on Monday Night Raw. But that was Monday Night Raw. Normally I would have already talked about SmackDown, but of course I didn't want to talk about the SmackDown. What happened this past week on the Go Home show for Clash. So we're not talking SmackDown this week, but I will tell you guys what is coming up tomorrow on SmackDown, as Paul Heyman is going to have a tribal chief crowning ceremony for Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn is going to be defending the Intercontinental Championship, his first title defense as the undisputed Intercontinental Champion against Jeff Hardy. And Miss Bliss is joining the KO show as Kevin Owens is heading on over to SmackDown to do the Kevin Owens show. That's going to be interesting to see this coming week on SmackDown. But let's head over to AEW, talk some Dynamite. And James Pogba is like, I heard James Storm is supposed to be coming to WWE. Here's what I'm hearing about that. I'll keep that up for the moment. James Storm was supposed to come to WWE. He was supposed to be WrestleMania. He was supposed to be joining for WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, that time period. However, because of the COVID and everything being thrown into utter chaos and flux, it didn't go through. So, yeah, I would have loved to have seen the Cowboy James Storm on the main roster. I mean, he was on NXT beforehand, after he left TNA, but he obviously something didn't he didn't like the scheduling of what was going on with NXT. He had a little bit more free reign as being with his schedule, so he was on NWA as their US champ. I want to say their US champ. Or no, I think it was their TV. But he was on NWA's roster for a while, but now because he was supposed to James Storm was supposed to make his main roster debut with the company after WrestleMania 36. However, because he was approached during Royal Rumble weekend, and basically he was able to he wanted to get out of his deal with NWA, and just a lot of things happening, and of course with the COVID, WWE pulled out and put it on hold due to the COVID. So it still may be coming down the line. It may be a little bit longer, but there isn't really anything out there that is being put that, we're looking to get him soon. But hopefully once COVID, is under under the thumb, and it's under more controllable circumstances to where travel and to where we can get fans back in the arena, and to where the situation's a lot better. Maybe James Storm will still want to come to the main roster to WWE. But again, with COVID being thrown and a lot of stuff being shrunk down, I don't know. I would love to see Cowboy James Storm. And you know what? I would love to see him back with his partner, Bobby Roode. And hopefully they bring some version of beer money from TNA. I kind of hope that they were like, you know what? Let's try to get our TNA gimmick over here. Just bring it over here, and they get approved, and they get AE-okayed, and like they own it and everything. But either way, I would love to see James Storm on the main roster with his partner Bobby Roode, because they freaking rock together as Beer Money Incorporated. But that's what I'm hearing with James Storm and the whole WWE, that he was supposed to, but because of COVID, it got put on hold, which sucks. Moving on, let's head on over to AEW Dynamite this past week. Talk what's been going on at Dynamite as they're ramping up to get ready for Full Gear in the month of November. Darby Allin taking on Ricky Starks one-on-one. Darby Allin, he's been on fire, man. I love Darby Allin. He's been great. Love to see him wrestle. He is awesome. Darby Allin picks up the victory on Ricky Starks. AEW Tag Team titles are on the line as FTR defending against SCU. And the tag title match was awesome. FTR picks up the victory, retaining the tag titles. Chris Jericho defeating Isaiah Cassidy, one-on-one action. Orange Cassidy defeating number 10 of the Dark Order. Britt Baker taking on Red Velvet. Britt Baker back in full action from her match at the dentist's office, if you want to call that. Britt Baker picking up the victory in her match. And then main event, Jon Moxley taking on the Butcher in AEW World Title match, and Moxley steamrolling through as he is still your AEW World Champion. We did find out that there is going to be an 8-man single elimination tournament in the weeks to come. The finals are going to be taking place at Full Gear in November, and we know 3 of the participants, as it will be Jungle Boy, Rey Fenix, and Kenny Omega to fill the slots in this 8-man single elimination tournament. MJF looking to I liked what MJF and Inner Circle trying to energized that thought from months ago that they were going to, MJF was going to join Inner Circle. I kind of want to see that happening because he kind of would fit very well in the Inner Circle with Jericho. That would be an interesting sight to behold. I mean, Inner Circle running roughshod with MJF and Chris Jericho, Sammy Garza, Jake Hager, and Ortiz and Santana. That would be destructive for everyone else. I could see them holding the AEW World title, the TNT title. I could see them holding the tag team titles. Like literally just a lot of gold could be held in that group. And I can't wait to see what happens with these guys. Even if it doesn't fluctuate into MJF and Inner Circle joining and we get MJF versus Jericho, that would be a good payoff right there to see these two go at it. And of course, next week, we're going to be celebrating Chris Jericho's 30 years in professional wrestling, man. So we're going to be drinking in 30 years, man. As next week, we're going to see Jericho and Hager taking on Luther and Serpentero. Serpentine. Serpentero. I cannot say his name. I think I have to hear it first. But we're going to have ourselves a TNT rematch. The TNT Championship titles on the line in a dog collar match. Brody Lee taking on Cody, the returning Cody, in a dog collar match. That's going to be fun. And then late, hearing about this, FTW titles on the line. Brian Cage will take on Will Hobbs for the FTW Championship of the World. That is AEW this past week. So let's head over to NXT. Yeah. I thought I said Serpentero. But it's one of those I have to hear it pronounced. That's my thing. It's like I have to hear it pronounced, but I feel like I'm getting it wrong, which I get a lot of let me be very, very honest with you. I get a lot of names wrong. I'm not the best speaker ever of trying to, if it's even just saying the New Japan Pro Wrestler names, a lot of them I screw up. And I have admittedly said I screw up on names. So if I say it wrong, I'm sorry. I just don't know how to talk and say names correctly. That's just me. But other than that, let's head over to NXT, talk about what's going to be coming up, what happened this last night, and what's coming up this weekend for TakeOver 31. NXT this week, we had Shotzi taking on Dakota Kai in one-on-one action. I'm loving Shotzi Blackheart. I hope she's getting a really good push into the singles division and stepping up her game in, to get to become an NXT champion one day. Hopefully soon, maybe a little bit more down the line. But Shotzi's damn impressive. Shotzi picking up the victory over Dakota Kai. Cameron Grimes defeating Joey Pistachio, which I'm literally reading it. It sounds like that to me. Cameron Grimes picks up the victory one-on-one. Kushida taking on Tony Nese. Good match. It's a good match. Kushida picking up the victory in the one-on-one action. Adam Cole singles action against Austin Theory, the returning Austin Theory from the main roster. Adam Cole killing it. Literally, who's gonna deny that Adam Cole has been killing it in the NXT world, running roughshod with Undisputed Era. Adam Cole picks up the victory. Kane Carter defeating Xia Li in one-on-one action. And then, of course, main event for a preview of this coming weekend's singles matches that are going to be coming up as the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling of NXT, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae taking on their opponents, the champions of NXT, the North American champion, Damian Priest, and Io Shirai, the women's champion, ahead of their individual matches at TakeOver 31. This was a great way to set everything up for these two matches heading into TakeOver 31. Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest, that's going to be an awesome match. Candice LeRae and Io Shirai, that's going to be a great match right there. And to see these four, to see these guys tagging together to get ready for their match, good concept. I love it. As the Mr. and Mrs. of Wrestling, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae pick up the victory and gaining momentum into their title matches this Sunday at TakeOver. Is going to be fun. And you know what? Even more build up with Kyle O'Reilly taking on Finn Balor as they had a little meeting or a little chit chat with each other with HB Shizzle in as moderator between these two. And you know what? I cannot wait to see this match. Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly. Finn Balor, of course, we've seen what he's done in one-on-one action. He's the current champion. This is going to be awesome. But for those who have not seen Kyle O'Reilly in one-on-one action, this is going to be a treat for you guys because Kyle O'Reilly is a former Ring of Honor World Champion. He is a former champion in singles action. And yeah, we've seen him for years as a tag team specialist with his buddy, with his partner, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish as Red Dragon, Ring of Honor. They've been tag champs pretty much anywhere they've gone. And to see Kyle O'Reilly as a singles action and see him as a singles competitor is going to be a real treat because he is a former Ring of Honor World Champion. It is going to be fun this coming Sunday. It is going to be fun. And you know what? Let's get into TakeOver. Let's talk about what's going to happen this Sunday for TakeOver 31. We're going to have ourselves a North American Championship match. It will be Damian Priest taking on Johnny Gargano for the title. It will be Io Shirai defending against Candice LeRae for the women's title. Finn Balor will take on Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT Championship of the World. Kushida will take on Velveteen Dream. And for the Cruiserweight Championship, Santos Escobar will take on Isaiah Swerve Scott. That is what we know for TakeOver 31 this coming Sunday, which is going to be awesome. Last little bit, let's update the G1 standings for you guys. And wait, I know I'm not in the NXT, I'm done with the NXT. So let's over to New Japan. Yes, the G1 tournament is still rocking and rolling, guys. Go and check it out on New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan World.com. Go and check that out, guys. Literally, this is a tournament you want to see if you want damn good action. And this was supposed to be happening later because of COVID, because of the Summer Games in Japan. Didn't happen, and the fact that COVID happened, so now it got pushed to the fall because it's normally a summer event. But nonetheless, the G1 tournament, freaking awesome. Block A, we have a 5-way tie for the top spot in the tournament. Tachi, Jay White, Will Ospreay, Miro Suzuki, and Kota Ibushi are sitting at the top of Block A with 6 points. Kazuchika Okada is sitting right behind them at 4 points. Jeff Cobb, Shingo Takagi, And Tomohiro Ishii sitting at 2 points, and then right at the bottom, Yuro Takahashi is sitting at a zero, a goose egg. Block B, we have a two-way tie for Block B supremacy as the current reigning defending IWGP Intercontinental and Heavyweight Champion of the World. Tetsuya Naito and Toru Yano are sitting at the top of the leaderboards with 6 points. Juice Robinson, Kenta are right behind them with 4 points. Zack Sabre Jr., Hiroko Goto, Evil, the former heavyweight and intercontinental champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Yoshihashi are sitting right behind them all at 2 points. And then at the bottom of the barrel at 0 is Sanada with 0. Guys, you guys still have a lot of time left to go and check out this tournament because it runs through the rest of this month for the next several weeks. So literally, if you have not checked it out, go and check out go and check this stuff out, guys. It is freaking awesome. We got done with 8 nights. We still have 9 more night, or still have what? We just got done with night 8. There is still several more nights. We have 18 nights in total. I mean, granted, the final is night 19, so we have 10 more nights of this tournament. Well, 9 more nights of the tournament, and then the 10th day is going to be the finals. So go and check this stuff out because the winner of this tournament, the winner of the Block A winner and the Block B winner will meet up in the finals. Winner will be G1 tournament, the G1 Climax tournament winner, and will get a championship, the heavyweight championship opportunity at Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th. And if it's the current champion, I kid you not, if it's the current champion that wins the tournament, which is Tetsuya Naito, he gets the option to pick his own opponent at Wrestle Kingdom, which is going to be fun. But that is going to be it for this week's show. Let's get back over here quickly to close out this show. Boom, we're back. No motion sickness, no air travel. We didn't have to go that far. But that is going to be it for me, guys. I need to get some house clean, done here on the show before we roll on out of here. If you have not subscribed, if you have not liked, shared this wonderful network of the Flex Network, you should be doing it. You should be doing it right now, guys. Otherwise, you're gonna have bad luck the rest of the year. I'm telling you right now, if you do not like, you do not subscribe, you do not share this, you're going to have bad luck the rest of the way. And 2020 is almost over, guys. You got 2 months left. Because it is October 1st, so you still got 2 months left. Actually, no, you got 3 months technically for January. But I'm still saying December. You got till December. And Jason, thank you for coming out and enjoying the show, man. But thank you for coming out, man. Back to my spiel. If you've not liked it, shared, subscribed, make sure you do. You can follow us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can follow if you are a fantasy football lover. We have you covered on that. Follow us at the Flex Network 1 for your football and fantasy football needs on Twitter. And if, of course, for this side of the world, the wrestling side of the world, follow us at FlexNet_PW Elite. We are also on YouTube, everybody. We have both the Flex Network Football and the Flex Network Wrestling have their own YouTube channels. Go and search for these and like and subscribe. to it. And also, we are on podcasts. If we are not somewhere where you listen to podcasts, if you're not on a service provider that you take with you, because we're on Spotify, we're on that Apple, we are on the big boys. But if you're not somewhere where you listen and take podcasts with you, let us know. We'll get there and we'll flex our muscles to get there. And we can run and dominate this thing. But quick note for what's coming up in the week for the Flex Network. Sunday, early in the morning, you can check out Steely Shane as he drops that last minute info for you for your fantasy football content. Who you guys need to be looking for so you can dominate that fantasy football league of yours. Then on Wednesday, you can catch me. You can catch Flex Mike. You can catch Cowboy Cam as we talk NFL. What happened during the week? And we make some picks with the NFL Week in Review show on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Every Wednesday during the NFL week, during the NFL season. And then, of course, I'll be back here next Thursday for your another edition of the Week in Review show for professional wrestling. But that is going to be it for me, guys. We gonna roll on out of here, and that is going to be it. So I am the SnowMan, and I will check you guys later. Peace out.
This has been the Pro Wrestling Week in Review show.
You got some fellow Canadians.
But when you're from Calgary,
Where's that?
Alberta, Canada,
A one-way first-class ticket to Larryland.
What is it with you folks coming to Florida? Stay in your own country. This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody. Right here.
Why me? Why me? Why me?
don't blame Canada, blame yourself.
Feels like showtime every minute to me. I can't help it.
No. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ta-ta for now. We're out of time. Good night on Nitro.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Well, you're welcome, Jurassic Slap Ass.